How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today this is a re-upload from. I did this video the other day, and unfortunately, like the first 5 minutes or something, there was like a static noise kind of going on in the background. So, yeah, this is actually the third time I've done this video, and the other day I started another project kind of thing in the editing thing, so it knocked this off, and yeah, now I've lost the first 5 minutes. Because I've already kind of edited that far. It's not kept whatever audio I did last time, but yeah, now I can't even remember what I said the first time, so I don't really know necessarily what's going to be missing from this video. But yeah, I'll give it a go anyway. The main things, from what I remember, I just had to re-edit it again because I called this mission a rare vehicle, and it's not that one. It was the mission called Tamer. And yeah, the Burlak is kind of over on the left-hand side of the map, in a swamp. It's actually a pretty simple mission. In theory, if you built a bridge kind of near the garage, you probably could drive like a highway truck all the way to here. Getting it out the swamp might be a little bit tricky with a highway truck, but if you took like a goddamn horse for you or something, and then yeah, from getting the Burlak to where you've got to drop it off, so there's a ambulance or something flying past. I can't, if I stop the recording now, I'll run out of audio slots, which only lets you have like 8 of or something ridiculous. So yeah, fun times. Yeah, you could get the Burlak from like where it is to where you got to take it. Like it's roads all the way back, and I chose a bit of an awkward route to head this time. Again, I could have kind of crossed the bridge near the garage, and then I'd sort of be on the other side of the river at this point. But yeah, I wanted to come and cross over here. There was actually, I believe originally, I was supposed to cross like a little bit off to the left of the map, where it looked like slightly narrower, but I don't know. Ended up working out to be this place. Yeah, I remember doing this a little bit though. It's drowning the Tayga a little bit. We've got a horse for some repairs if we need it. Yeah, the current's pretty strong on that river, so definitely recommend kind of going diagonally so it doesn't tip you over. But fortunately, I did this mission with the original Tayga, so steering's pretty damn good. Didn't have to do any 3-pointers or anything. And yeah, obviously, like I say, I kind of chose a purposely awkward route, but I think easier options are available. And yeah, tonight, just quickly, I was kind of messing around on. Well, I started the gameplay and review video for the Burlak, really, but I'll be honest, I didn't even make it off Black River in the end, I don't think. No, I kind of got sidetracked. I have got the footage on Black River, but to be honest, I might just start it again because the amount of editing alone needed just to recover those little bits that are actually relevant. But yeah, I was kind of, you know, like trying to knock trees over and going all over the map. Yeah, got pretty sidelined, but I wanted to have a little go, see what's happening with it. I don't really know whether to treat it as like a scout or a truck, because even with the trailer hitches, I think it can have both, and it kind of, yeah, sort of sits somewhere in the middle, a little bit like the Ford F750. I just mean as in like when I do the gameplay and review video. With the Scouts, I kind of go up a mountain after I sort of have a little drive at the beginning, whereas with the trucks, I kind of go off to the right and then down through the swamps and all the rest of it. So yeah, I'll still have a little think about that one. I might end up going the Scout route because, to be honest, as a truck it's gonna be completely outmatched by everything, so I may as well kind of treat it like a Scout, and at least that might help a little bit. Yeah, this is the where the Burlak is though, over to the left. That's the road that, well, I chose anyway. It's the simplest, easiest road, like I said. It's tarmac all the way, so even a highway truck could manage, other than, yeah, just getting it out of the actual swamp itself. And that's the bridge I just kind of moved my marker over. If you crossed there and then followed my markers back up to the left, yeah, that'd be about the easiest way to get this one done. See, again, I obviously, when I made this video, I kind of had something in mind that I was probably describing then when I drew the line. That's why I left X amount of footage in and all the rest of it. And yeah, the other day when I edited this, at least I could kind of delete the first 5 minutes of audio, but listen to it first to have a rough idea of what I said, and then I did the audio again. I don't even know why I didn't upload it. It might have been just got distracted. Maybe my brother got back or something, was talking to him, and then I edited another video. So yeah, it just kind of bumped it off the project list. Or well, I don't know. I must have saved it actually, because the fact that it's kind of saved it with the audio missing means it must have done something. But yeah, anyway, the mission's called Troll Tamer, and even though I do think this Burlak it needs more engine power and all the rest of it, but yeah, even if you don't like the truck, it's definitely a mission worth doing, because it's really overpriced. I think it's like 116,000 stock. So yeah, even if you're not going to use the vehicle, it's worth getting just to cash it in and get a free chunk of money. And then yeah, the Tayga, I remember driving over. I chose like the most awkward way possible. I could have gone, you know, I could have made this easier, but again, just as it's a new phase, I'm kind of testing a few things, and we're getting up to where the audio's fixed, so I'll leave it there. Yeah, normally, to the Tayga's credit, it'd climb over this stuff. I think like the side that the back end of the Tayga's currently on, it just obviously like dips down a lot there, and there's not really anything to bite on, so I'm kind of like beaching on the fuel tanks a little bit at that point. There was something sticking out I could grab onto. That's definitely what she said. Yeah, some kind of like dead tree I think I can see just at the back of my truck. And then I went to drag this thing over, and it's like, really? With your massive giant 69-inch tyres? And it's not even going to get over with a boost from the Tayga. So again, a bit of editing, because this easily could have taken a lot longer. There was my attempt to do a run-up. Smashed my nose on the road. I was like, wow, great, this is going marvellously. And right now, I was impatiently, really. I mean, you know, within reason, within the fun of the game. It's not like I was getting mad, but the game is a bit of a troll. It's certainly, Troll Tamer is probably a good. I won't forget that name now. But yeah, I'm well aware there's probably easier ways to do this. It was just the principle of it, and to a slight degree the testing. So I already know, for whatever reason, it doesn't really like climbing over at least that barrier. In its defence, I'm not really writing it off yet, because at this point I'm just pretty much being like, yeah, well, you're getting over the barrier. It's happening. But also, yeah, I can't really kind of write the vehicle off or anything yet, because I think I did pick a particularly awkward place, but then now, yeah, as you could see, I was like, yeah, we're going. I'm in gear now. I'm flooring it. Oh yeah, and it glitches now on the one tiny bit of footage. As you can see, the vehicle's bounced around. You can see there where I nearly tipped. Same thing happened about now, but I actually rode it for about 5 seconds on 2 wheels of like wiggling around, and then, well, as you can see, yeah, I tipped. And I can actually, the Tayga is still running, so I just stuck a winch to the Loaf. So technically speaking, I could just fire a winch to that telegraph pole thing, lamp post, whatever, on the other side of the road, but that might tip my Tayga up, but my Loaf might not be in the sideboard, and I wasn't happy with that. So right now, yet again, I could get out of this any second I want, but started dragging the Burlak thing around to try and nudge the Loaf a little bit. I thought one of the tyres might be able to prop me up a bit. So use the winch. The Loaf, in theory, would start now, but obviously when I switch back to the Loaf, the winch detaches, and then it's saying engine stalled. Now, first things first, they've definitely adjusted something to do with it, because not just the Loaf, other vehicles would start. It'd fire right up now. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If he doesn't start, you're just not turning the key hard enough. But take it. I know this pretty goddamn well from the amount of time I've spent messing around in a Loaf. I know what angle he starts on, and I'm telling you, he would start now. It'd help, again, like it used to back in the day, if I could wiggle my tyres. But no, it was making me go the long way around. And I kind of noticed with the Loaf, it was kind of like stuck up in the sideboard like that, and there was like, it didn't make sense that its back end hadn't kind of dropped down by that point. So yeah, give it a little wiggle as you do. Goddamn professional. See, starts like a good un. I always had faith in him. This is why I invest so much time. Well, it wasn't even a lot, to be honest. I edited that. It was honestly like, I don't know, probably edited like a minute or so out. I'd say maybe a bit more, but I was probably also like, yeah, my cat's here and blah, like just, yeah, trying to get like a consistent run of footage is sketchy at the best of times. But yeah, I mean, goddamn horse, get yourself a loaf. I trusted him, and he got out of it. I just essentially didn't want to have to flip the Tayga and then reverse the loaf up against the Tayga and get him back into the sideboard, which I know I can do because I've done it a lot. But I knew, I could see, I was near enough. It's like Hulk Hogan again, reaching out for that crash barrier rope. I knew if he can just get on it a bit, tilt himself a tiny bit, he'll fire up. Stick a winch to the lamppost. Just used to saying loaf. Yeah, then we escaped. I was trying to just do a quick fuel maneuver, but then this bloody Burlak thing behind me or whatever confused the situation. I was just like, oh yeah. I went to go looking for a roof rack or whatever, and yeah, kind of got mixed up on whose fuel I'm taking from where and what. The good thing is, this Burlak, I mean, this mission is about as easy as it gets. They've kind of served this on a plate, really, which, in all honesty, I think is pretty cool, because if they kind of bury a vehicle, you know, you've got to go 5 contracts in and 2 maps over and all the rest of it. You've done half of the map, or the phase or whatever. By the time you get the vehicle, not half, but you know what I mean, you feel like you've burnt through loads of missions. It's like, oh, I really would have liked to have had that vehicle as an option for some of those missions. Probably isn't so bad with a vehicle like this, but certainly in the past when there's been like actual trucks to unlock, but you actually kind of like, they take a little while, a few missions in to get them. It's, yeah, I prefer it like this, where the option is there, even if they made this mission more difficult. Long story short, we're all going to get it, drag it using one truck or another to where it's going, and then we just want to unlock this mission. Like, it doesn't really matter what this mission pays out or anything. This is kind of obviously the thing you're getting for it. And you can see at this point, and it wasn't, again, planned or otherwise, I didn't even know I was going to do this video until I found the Burlak and then kind of thought, well, I've just pissed 8 hours up the wall doing not much of anything, so I probably should try and make a video of something. And then, yeah, so I kind of started the video from when I'd already found that, and then just kind of went back and chopped up a bit of the footage to get that sorted. But yeah, just a normal road all the way along here, so about as easy as it gets. Drive it into the box, that's what she said. Yeah, 4,400 I believe it was. Again, doesn't really matter, you get this thing. I didn't even look, to be honest, so far, how much money it's worth. I'm gonna, I don't know, they seem to be pricing things quite high these days, but, and it hasn't got a winch point. I honestly don't know. 80 grand, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just made it like 140 for no apparent reason. Yeah, so it's just a quick little go in it, nothing crazy, because I'll obviously, oh god, I'll do a review video. I like doing them, by the way. I'm saying oh god because I know of the horrific amount of opportunities I have to not get footage for the video and just go off doing other things. So yeah, bear with me because it'll probably take me about 20 hours for that one. Yeah, just messing around, wanted to see if I could climb the logs. It does feel like the bumper at the front is a little bit, it catches, but at the minute at least, I think when it was climbing over the barrier thing earlier, the suspension was working. It was just because I kind of dragged it and smashed it down the road that it's not. For whatever reason, I realised if I drive it up behind the Tayga I could reverse the Loaf, probably. I say probably. 100% rescue records, goddamn professional. Yeah, but the Tayga was on an awkward angle, so I zombie winched it and reversed. See, this, it was in the Loaf training manual video. Yeah, just be lazy and just start firing winches to everything and make that thing do what it is you want to do. That is one of the secrets, as part of the magic of the Loaf. Things like that dog from the thing just fires tentacles out at everything, starts trying to control it. Yeah, for whatever reason the rear winch point just wouldn't show up. It's like a pretty regular bug that this game seems to do, so I just switched to this vehicle, winch from the back, pack the Loaf on the roof, I knew, that's all, as soon as I saw this vehicle, that's the first thing I thought was, yep, I reckon I could fit a Loaf on that, which already helped. Just fixing the suspension, which you can see, yeah, it jumps up a bit, but I'll be honest, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it did a little animation, like it had fixed it and popped up, but I don't know, it doesn't really feel like, the nose sits a bit low, but I thought, right, we've been here before, it is a perfect chat. I already knew what I was going to do, but it was just, I mean, leaving the footage in wise. Yeah, the rest of this video is essentially a bit of messing around. There's not a hell of a lot of much going on other than the Loaf doing his usual goddamn horse things. Yeah, he's a weight distribution Loaf, so I moved him to the back because there was too much weight at the front. You see? Now the vehicle can climb up the logs. And this vehicle, the Burlak, I don't know why it has like the entire bakery stuck on its back end, but for whatever reason it does. So, but it wasn't enough. The Loaf had to show it. He's in fact pulling the heaviest of carriages because he's a goddamn horse. That's the way it goes. Yeah, inevitably I crashed that vehicle at some point. Pretty quick, to be honest. The Loaf does flip it though. The only thing that, again, I'll save most of it for like a review video, but it's a little bit annoying to tip back to its wheels. Not incredible, not like Yar 87 annoying, but it's not as, yeah, it should just instantly do it. And then this was just a quick look. I only painted it yellow for what it's worth, just to see what bodywork actually gets painted and what doesn't. Doesn't really matter, but that is usually why I pick a bright colour. Yeah, drove it into a wall for no apparent reason, and then this is when I just went to see if it had like a winch point or crane point or whatever at the top, and it didn't, so it's alright. Grab it from the back, face down, ass up, that's the way it likes to truck. We'll do it. Legs pop out when I said that. Could have gone so much worse with that as well. Yeah, it's a little bit awkward. You can see at first it was lifting it up, but then when you get a certain amount off the ground it started dropping again. And yeah, the game's a little bit odd like that. Once you get something fully off the ground, it'll like sort of stay. And then I wasn't really doing anything at this point, just for whatever reason it started wiggling around on the crane. I don't know if that's common, it doesn't really matter, probably doesn't mean anything to anyone, but I'll be honest, I watched it wiggle around for probably longer than I should have, which is another reason why this video is a little bit later than it otherwise would be. But now we know. I needed to know if I could pick it up, or how easily I could pick it up and put it on other vehicles. Not as easily as the Loaf does, but he's a goddamn beast, so yeah. And then like I say, it just started wiggling around, trying to embarrass me in front of the neighbours. I've only been here a day. What will they think? Like, there goes the neighbourhood. Like Burlaks, just want to hang out, can't you tell? Could I say it in a more creative way? Yeah, for whatever reason, see the cranes, they're just weird. I was not pressing anything. It was just fine. And then it wasn't, and then this vehicle just started dropping down, the nose touched the floor, the crane kind of tries to get some life back to it. But yeah, anyway, that's about it. The vehicle unlocked, so I will do a review video on it pretty soon when I can speak properly. But yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Get yourself a Loaf because he's a beast, and I'll be back soon.